We are releasing the data on the candidate background of phase 1 elections, 89 constituencies, and our effort is to inform voters so that they can see what the candidates are like, see what the political parties are like, and then decide whom to vote for. Karnataka Election Watch, some of the members are sitting here, is a non-political, non-partisan effort. We are not aligned with any political party. We are not working for any party. We are not against any party. We are for the voters. So I want to make that very, very clear. And this candidate information is what the candidates themselves have given. They have themselves given this information to Election Commission. In fact, Election Commission office is next door. So they have given this information to Election Commission, and from the data that candidates have given, we have prepared this report. Karnataka Election Watch is part of a nationwide all India effort. This Citizen Election Watch is being done in about 20 states. We have done in all the major states in India. In Karnataka, this is the second time that we are doing this Election Watch. Coming to today's data, there are two booklets we have circulated. One is the main booklet, and another is a supplementary booklet which has some corrections. We found some minor errors in the criminal record of candidates, so that we have corrected. So for criminal record, you please check the corrected version. Don't look at the main corrected version. Yes. Smaller one. Smaller one. It has got a name on top called corrections. In the smaller version. And in the smaller version, there is a press note. If you open the smaller version, on the front page itself, there are 2 pages, which is the press note. Yeah. So some details are given there. Let me give you some background. We did this election watch in 2004, and now this is second time we are doing it. We were very much worried about the level of criminalization in politics. A lot of people with criminal cases are contesting elections. We counted, even in the list we have given, phase 1, there are at least 8 candidates who have got attempt to murder or murder cases against them, and various other cases of forgery, cheating, dacoity, grievous assault using weapons, and so on. So we are very concerned that the level of politics is deteriorating. But there is some good news. Compared to 2004, we have given some data in the press note. The percentage of people contesting with criminal records has actually come down. And you can see it in that. At least for one of the major parties, the percentage has come down. Second thing which is a matter of concern this time is that money power, use of lot of money in elections has increased tremendously. We have got in that report some details, and you can see it for yourself. We have compared candidate total assets in 2004 with assets today. The total increase in assets, if you look at it, it has gone up by several hundred crores, and we have given party-wise details of the increase in assets. So I am just reading out from here. Out of 82 candidates who gave asset declaration last time, their total increase in assets is 481 crores. Just 82 people have shown an increase in wealth of 480 crores, and party-wise details are also given. So first question is, how they have been able to earn so much of money in the last 4 years. We do hope that we will be able to inform the voters about this, because the amount of money power has increased. The details of the candidates with the amount of increase, candidate by candidate, is given about the amount of wealth that they have increased. Second problem, we are now working with a network of NGOs all over Karnataka. We have contacted with Dr. Sudarshan's help and other friends. Practically every district, some 4 or 5 NGOs have agreed to participate in this election watch, and they will be releasing the same data in the districts. So it is now going to be a statewide effort. We have also written to the political leaders of the major parties, the BJP, JDS and Congress, giving this information from last time and this time, and requesting the political party leaders not to put up candidates with such kind of records, because we want good governance, clean governance. So our belief is that it is the political party leaders who are giving tickets to such candidates, and they are squarely responsible for such candidates standing for elections. You and I did not propose these names. It was proposed by the political party leaders, so we need to put a lot of pressure on them so that they can change their ways. Another point I want to make is that compared to last elections, lot of industrialists and businessmen are now standing for elections. People with assets of 100 crores, 150 crores, 300 crores. Many of them are from the real estate business. Some of them are from liquor business. Some of them in the rural areas are from the mining business. Their details are also given. So for democracy, one of the questions that arises is, when such a person with such business interests comes for standing elections, will he work for citizens or will he work for his own business interest? So this is a conflict of interest that needs to be resolved if we want to take democracy forward.